Please insert Secret of the Old Clock. Press OK after the CD has been inserted. Okay.
Does anyone know what a CD looks like anymore? What worked?
It doesn't need to, because welcome to Secret of the Old Clock, the e-book! Which is legal now.
Hang on. This is the case of the missing Clapham will, isn't it? As you can tell by the title. And Nancy holding a clock. Yeah, this is the ebook. And guess what? It's the same thing. You saw the video. If you didn't see the video, go look at that video first.
Absolutely. I'm going to turn the song down a little bit because it's a little loud, but...
Don't worry, I'll sing it louder. No, I'm kidding. Anyway.
No, Nancy Drew!
So anyway, this is available on archive.org if you're curious. And guess what? This is also completely legal to use in Canada because thankfully somebody there decided to make edits so that this was more accessible. And
one such example is the table of contents when we scroll to it.
Well, hang on. We're not even there yet. Still, okay, there is honestly a book after this, but the fact that the entire thing starts off with somebody pointing at a clock, and the quote, any kind of quote could have been used here, but they used the quote, there's a clock in front of you, Isabel told her pointedly, because Nancy ain't no detective yet. She needs significant help. Yeah, that ain't the fucking Rosetta Stone, is it? That's a clock, Nancy. It'll be important later in the game.
I like how Nancy's like, oh, it is!
You know, she's like, what time is it? Is it 27? Like, yes, obviously, Nancy.
And then we can
this is 1930, so I can call you a dumb bitch, and it's illegal. What? Anyway.
Oh, poor women.
We have so much interesting things are going to happen, including an interesting story, a conference. Oh, God.
An unpleasant encounter.
Shareholders meeting. I know. Nancy meets Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sorry, that was...
Wow!
Wait, hey, Nancy turns sleuth. Jeffrey Epstein dies. Let's see. Visiting, following a clue, an adventure. The adventure happens halfway through. Left to starve. I'm sure Nancy's gonna be okay.
The story of Tucker Carlson's dad.
What Nancy found. Okay. This is honestly so vague and terrifying that I can't wait, even though we know exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, then without further ado, we're gonna leave the main menu and get into the game. I mean the book. Which means I need to put on my We're Talking to Carson music. Which we're gonna use this song. Thank you, Secret of the Old Clock, for having files that are accessible by Audacity. Chapter 1, The Lost Will.
It's all you.
Oh yeah, because it starts as Nancy. It would be a shame if all that money went to the Tophams. They'll fly higher than ever. Nancy Drew, a pretty girl of 16, leaned over the library table and addressed Carson, who was reading a newspaper by the lamp.
I'm sorry, who said that you were pretty? I beg your pardon, Nancy. What were you saying about the Tophams? I was busy ignoring you.
Carson Drew, a noted criminal and mystery case lawyer, known far and wide for his work as a former district attorney, looked up from his evening paper and smiled indulgently. I still think that's way too big a word for this story. Now as he gave her his respectful attention, he was not particularly concerned with the Richard Topham family, but rather with the lamp! That's right! The lamp that was behind her! Much more interesting than his daughter.
You know, this is a lava lamp. These aren't even going to get popular until the 70s. By the way, how do you apply to be a mystery case lawyer? Like, what? Excuse me? But what does that mean?
Another line I'm still questioning is how Nancy goes up and tweaks his ear.
Oh, it fell off!
You weren't paying attention to me! I accuse him sternly. I was saying I think it's mean that those snobbish Tophams fall heir to all just as Crowley's fortune. Can't something be done about it?
We could kill them.
Removing his horn-tipped spectacles and carefully folding the paper, Carson Drew entered a deep meditative thought about his daughter.
Look, if this isn't a mystery case, then I can't be a lawyer. You know the rules. I'm afraid not, Nancy. A will is a will, you know.
But it does seem unfair that all the money should go to them, especially when they never treated Josiah Crowley like a human being.
We don't have to do that. It's the 20s. The Tophams were never noted for their charitable dispositions.
Carson observed with a smile.
I'll do anything that says Carson Drew.
Okay, fair enough.
However, they did give Josiah a home. It was a beautiful cardboard box, and it held a rather slim LCD television that he didn't get.
Yes, and everyone knows why. They want him to work and to leave. They want to work him into leaving all his money to them and the TV. And it seems that their scheme worked too. They treated him like a prince until he made his will in their favor, and then they acted as though he were dirt under their feet. Folks said that he died just to be rid of their everlasting nag.
Wow, I gotta say, Nancy, I thought you were supposed to be the likable main character, but all you seem to do is whine. The Tophams aren't very well liked in our little city, are they? They're literally across the street, and that's all of us. You won't see any other characters, I promise.
Who could like them, father? Richard Topham is an old skinflint. What does that even mean, father? Who made his money by gambling on the stock exchange, which is gonna crash in the 1930s, so maybe we should just wait for that. And Korra, his wife, she's a bitch in The Legend of Korra, too. Is nothing but a vapid social climber. The two girls, Isabel and Ada, are even worse. I went to school with them and I never saw such stuck-up creatures in all my life. Not even like the toucan or the other animal that looks stuck up. If they fell heir to any money, this town won't be big enough to hold them. That's why we're gonna build a whole new town and move there.
I'm gonna give you another 5 minutes to think of more stuck-up creatures. In the meantime, I'm gonna read the obituaries and hope that you're in them. Not today! Damn it! Go ahead.
Well, Nancy didn't exaggerate. Nearly everyone in River Heights shared the opinion that the Tophams were snobbish and arrogant, and the treatment they accorded Josiah Crowley had aroused a great deal of unfavorable comments. Probably should have zoomed into this more. It's a little hard to read this size, but whatever. I lost my place. Nancy had never known Josiah well, but had often seen him on the street and secretly had regarded him as a rather nice but extremely gay sort of individual.
Yeah, sorry, it's the 30s, but you never know. Maybe Josiah was all 5 members of Queer Eye back in the day.
No, he has a wife. Although the wife was dead!
There you go.
During the prequel to COVID from the World War.
I was gonna say, it's like the straight people don't vaccinate anymore, do they? So the gays just have all the space to run around in their rainbow scarves and their hot pants. Sorry.
And since that time, Crowley had made his home with various relatives. I don't remember this paragraph actually being in the fake book.
Although more reason that we should read this one.
Although well-to-do, he preferred to visit around.
Well, it's time for Carson's choice of the game. There'll be more of these, but since this is an interactive experience, I'm going to give you an option. Carson will either give you a cookie and pat you on the head, or he'll lock you in the closet for not being a boy. Make your choice.
Lock me in the closet.
That's right, Nancy. You go in the closet for your designated 2 hours a day. I'm going to listen to soap operas. And cry that you're not a boy! Why can't you be what I want you to be?
Damn it, I should have had another tab open with the "You have made a fatal error" screen. I still can! Hang
on! You know what? I'm starving you now! I'm not even gonna wait!
There we go. Oh, that's not very big, is it? Wait, why can I order this on Redbubble?
As a sticker?
There! Perfect! You've made a fatal error!
Would you like to try again? Carson would. I'm gonna have better children.
Alright, I'm gonna try again.
I'm gonna call them Fancy. Or maybe Tansy. What is the guy's name that rhymes with yours? Mancy.
That's about as close as we're gonna get.
Nancy Drew, my basketball playing possibly could be a lawyer someday instead of a typist's son. Anyway, moving on.
At first, I love this more already. The Tophams had evidenced no interest in the old man, and he had been forced to live with kindly relatives who were scarcely able to have him with them. Crowley appreciated the sacrifice and openly declared they intended to make his will in their favor. And then, 3 years later, before his death, the Topham family experienced a sudden change of heart. They begged Josiah to make his home with them, and at last he consented. Presently, rumor had it that the Tophams had induced him to sit at a table and tell them what card they were concentrating on.
You know what? I had just talked to Matt yesterday, who out of thin air said, I was watching C-SPAN, and I was reminded of that scene because of Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? It's incredible the reach Nancy Drew games have in our lives.
It's amazing.
By the way, the card just had a picture of China on it.
Okay.
Anyway.
But as time went on, and Mr. Crowley, though failing in health, maintained as firm a grip on life as ever, the Tophams abused him!
Yeah,
now you have to identify 5 cards in 2 seconds! Although he continued to live with them, it was whispered about that. Frequently, he slipped away to visit his old friends and that he intended to change his will again, cutting the Tophams out entirely. And then he died.
Yeah, this got dark really fast, actually. So he lived with family members that couldn't take care of him, but he was happy, and the Topham said, oh, fuck, this guy has a lot of money. Maybe we could just have him sit in our den for a while. And then they just whipped him until he, I guess, passed out and eventually croaked.
He tried to say something to the doctor, but his words were unintelligible. After the funeral, only one will came to light, and shocker, it gave the entire fortune to the Tophams. Father, were you listening to the monologue I had in my head? I imagine Nancy's just standing there staring at Carson, tweaking his ear while this paragraph was being read.
Did you not see me write this all on the blackboard and connect the dots?
No, Father, I'll go back to the closet now.
That's right, Nancy.
What do you suppose it was that Mr. Crowley was trying to tell the doctor before he died? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be demanding this. Do you imagine he was trying to disclose something in his will? Tell me, Father, now!
He was probably saying, ivermectin, please, it will cure me. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I guess. Josiah Crowley was rather queer. I heard you say that part, and it definitely put me off from this story. How about that? You and your feminine thoughts. Jesus.
But isn't it possible that he did make such a will, now he was trying to tell them what he had done with it?
Did you just kind of like throw in a bunch of extra words? If he did, I'm afraid it will never come to light. The Tophams will see to that.
Oh, did I miss?
I
think we got misplaced. Perhaps he had something to hide? Yeah, and then you said, okay, we were reading the wrong lines. What do you mean, Father? I'm just as confused as the people reading our story.
You look at your script, Nancy, I swear! This is why actresses will never be paid! The estate is a considerable one, I understand, Nancy, and the Tophams don't intend that anyone shall get a cent of it. It's my private opinion that they will take care that a second will is never found, even if it means blowing up the earth.
Do you mean that if they discovered the will, they would destroy it?
I don't know what else blowing up the earth means, Nancy. Well, I'm not making any accusations, but as also a mystery case police officer, I will arrest them for being very suspicious. I do know that Richard Topham is shrewd and he isn't noted for his honesty. How many different ways can we say these people are assholes?
The fuck does this mean? Can't the present will be broken?
Yeah, I think that's just a weird way to say, in the similar way that you have a contract and you just say, invalid.
Oh, okay, I hear it now. Okay, can't the present will be broken?
I doubt it. While I haven't gone into the case, I know exactly what to do. I am of the opinion that the Tophams have a legal right to the fortune. It would cost considerable to contest the will, and so far as I know, the other relatives are in poverty. They have filed a claim declaring that a later will was made in their favor, but I doubt the matter will ever go further. I've called the judge. I'm shutting this down. Poor people can suck eggs for all I care, if they can afford them.
But the Tophams don't deserve the fortune, Father! It's not fair.
It isn't fair! Life isn't fair! Where's my son? But it is legal, and I'm afraid nothing can be done about it. There were 2 girls who lived somewhere on the river road that were great pets. Does that say pets?
It says pets.
Pets of Crowley's when they were children. One is a wolf and the other is an elephant. Or at least that's what they believe. You'll find them at the zoo. It seems to me that they should have something.
Or an Anthrocon in Pittsburgh.
There are a number of relatives who really deserve a portion of the fortune.
Nancy nodded thoughtfully as opposed to, I guess, dumbly, and relapsed into silence.
Nodded backwards.
While she digested the facts of the case. From Carson, she had acquired the habit of thinking. Frequently,
I taught you something, didn't I? Not math, but at least thinking.
Frequently, Carson had assured her that she went at a thing like a detective. Certainly, she was clever and took more than an ordinary interest in strange or baffling cases, like where Carson left the remote. Or was it knobs? I guess it was knobs back then. The knob for the television.
By the way, it's time for Carson's choice of the game!
I knew it.
It's time for breakfast, which means, Nancy, you get 1 blueberry or another trip to the closet.
I have learned from last time, I'll take a blueberry.
You will take a blueberry, but I'm putting it inside the closet.
I was fooled!
Where do you think you're gonna get the blueberry, Nancy? That's right, for 2 more hours. You can think more about the case in there while I eat a second blueberry. Okay.
Alright, back to the story. Nancy came out later. Oh no, it's more of you.
It is more of me. I want to describe myself.
Please do.
Carson Drew, a widower. My most important trait. My dead wife showered a great deal of affection upon his daughter when she wasn't in the closet. It was a secret boast that he had taught her to think for herself and to think logically, 2 things that women weren't allowed to do until the 1950s, since he knew that Nancy could be trusted with confidential information because she didn't have any friends. He frequently discussed his interesting cases with her. Do you remember the serial killer that ate babies, Nancy?
I wish I didn't, Dad.
Your turn.
Okay. A number of times, Nancy had been present at interviews which Carson had had with noted detectives who desired his aid in solving perplexing mysteries, and those occasions stood out as red-letter days for her. There was something about a mystery which aroused Nancy's interest, and she was never content until it was solved. More than once, her father had found her suggestions or intuitions very helpful.
Yeah, I remember that time when Nancy said I should continue working on the case, and I thought, good idea. I was gonna shelve this and quit, but good call. Or how about you think harder? That's right, Nancy. Good idea.
For a reason which she could not understand, the Crowley case had attracted Nancy's attention, although it had not fallen into her father's hands. She had a certain feeling that a mystery lurked behind it. Father, do you believe Josiah Crowley ever made a second will?
Nancy demanded suddenly. I swear to God, I'm just going back to my regular paper afternoon, and you pop out from underneath the frickin' chair. You're a regular lawyer the way you cross-examine me, Carson Drew protested, but with evident enjoyment, I guess. I don't know what kind of enjoyment. I know that I'm one day closer to death, Nancy. To tell you the truth, I don't know whether he ever made a second will or not. I'm not a fucking mind reader, but I know where one is. All I do know is that, but perhaps I shouldn't mention it since my information is not very pertinent.
Do it now!
What are you going to give me for it, Nancy?
Oh shoot, it's time for Nancy's choice of the day. Well, should she give Carson a bagel or the key to the closet so she can be trapped there longer?
Carson's please. Actually, I've decided that I'm going to point out that there's a strange giraffe eating the lawn, and you'll look over there and I'll take the bagel and the key. Thank you very much, Nancy.
Yep.
Giraffes don't exist.
Anyway.
Well, I do remember that one day nearly a year ago, I was standing in the First National Bank when Crowley came in with Henry Rolstead. These are the types of memories that I have instead of things like your birthday.
Not the attorney who specializes in wills and legal documents.
You've read the Yellow Pages, because that's the only book you have. Yes. Well, as I was saying, they came into the bank together, holding hands, kissing each other. Queer. I had no intention of listening to the conversation, but boy, was it gay. You could tell that they had read a lot of gay books. I don't even know who a gay author is. The gay ones. I couldn't help but hear that they were discussing a will. Not Will Forte, either. Crowley made an appointment to call at Rolstad's office the following day.
That looks as though Mr. Crowley has made up his mind to write a new will, doesn't it?
That was a thought which passed through my mind at the time when I wasn't thinking of bagels.
You say you overheard the conversation nearly a year ago. I mused. That was nearly 2 years after Mr. Crowley made the will in favor of the Tophams, wasn't it?
Wow, we do like to talk about random gaps in time that I don't know how anybody remembers anything from. There was a war, you know. Yes, it's likely Crowley has made up his mind to change the will. I suspect he intended to cut the Tophams out, but whether or not he did, I have no way of knowing.
Mr. Rolstad's an old friend of yours, isn't he?
He is an old friend and an old college classmate. We went to Southern New Hampshire University together. He's the president.
Of the, what, knitting club?
That's an excellent question, and I do not know how to answer that.
Then why don't you ask him?
I don't know where he is. I made him up. I'm sorry.
Well,
that's a rather delicate question to ask, young lady. He may tell me it's none of my business.
You know he won't, assuming you didn't make him up. You're such a noted attorney that other lawyers feel flattered when you take an interest in their cases. Will you do it, please?
This is the first demand that you've made this second. I guess I'll have to accept it. I can't promise to blunder into his office and demand the information. I'll have to steal it. Why the sudden interest in the case, Nancy?
Dang it, so we have to hire... Oh, who would it be? Sorry, I don't know the Sly family tree all that well. Oh, I don't know. A mystery always interests me, I guess. And it does seem to me that someone ought to help these poor relatives.
You and your charity cases, Nancy. One day you're going to learn that the rich people deserve it. Anyway, you take after your old dad, I'm afraid. Except for the fact that you're a girl. But I'm curious to know what mystery you have discovered.
If a will is missing, isn't that a mystery?
Oh, you do ask some strange questions, and it's time for Carson's choice of the game.
All right.
Since you asked about mysteries, how about I give you a couple and you have to guess which one's the mystery? Where's Jimmy Hoffa? Or is Jimmy Hoffa wearing my socks?
I'm gonna go with the socks one.
Okay, fine. You win this round, okay?
Okay, I'll take it.
I swear they weren't eaten by the washing machine, which is just you, by the way. It's the 20s.
Damn 20s. Can't wait for the 2020s.
That's right. We're talking over TikTok.
They'll have Roombas then.
My real son. It is actually missing, yes, but it's possible that if Crowley ever wrote the will, he changed his mind and destroyed it. He is subject to sudden whims, you know.
Anyhow, I'd like to learn more about the case if I can. Will you talk with Mr. Rolstad?
Too late, I'm bored. No, fine. You are persistent, Nancy. Mr. Drew smiled. Well, I suppose I could invite him to take luncheon with me tomorrow. It sounds like you're going to the cafeteria at the hospital.
Oh, please do! Please! It'd be splendid to find out everything he knows about the will. Excellent,
What?
yes!
Why am I doing all of the work, Nancy? All right, I'll try to do it. But I warn you not to expect startling news. Carson Drew glanced at his watch. Holy shit! It's today! Why, it's nearly midnight, Nancy. What? We've been discussing this case for over an hour. Better run off to bed now. Forget the Tophams. In fact, who are you? Anyway, I'll see you maybe.
All right, I said somewhat reluctantly. Don't forget your promise tomorrow at luncheon.
Ooh, long after his daughter had retired. Thank God. 16's a great time to have all your funds in place. No, Carson Drew sat by the fire, sticking his hand in, hoping that it would consume him. It did not. At last, he too arose. It wouldn't surprise me if Nancy has stumbled upon a real mystery, he told himself, as he snapped out the electric light, which had started the fire in the first place. Perhaps I shouldn't encourage her to dig into it. But after all, it's in a good cause. And that's been the justification for everything that is positive and helpful, I'm sure. There's no way Nancy will get hurt sleeping tonight. Probably.
We have reached, I'm guessing by this giant block, yeah, we have reached the end of chapter 1. So, is there a puzzle maybe?
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? It's the slider.
Ugh!
Actually, that's how you get into Nancy's room.
Oh my gosh.
You thought it's 16 pieces? 32. It's a black square.
Tune in next time for chapter 2.
See ya.